My parents owned a restaurant at the top of the hill here in Greenbank, right next to the Greenbank store, called Whidbey Fish. So in 1996, Whidbey Fish closed and we built a commercial kitchen on the back of our house. And my mom made wholesale pies there and sold them to Larry's Markets in Seattle. 4 years later, just after the farm was purchased by the public, my mom was approached to start a cafe down here. I would help my mom in the kitchen, and I remember she used to always say, "This could all be yours one day," and I never wanted it. I wanted to follow my own path, and so I went to college in Southern California and then went to New York. And it wasn't until I was about 30 that I realized that this was actually a pretty good gig. And so she had a buyer, she had it on the market, was ready to sell it, and I called her up and I was like, "About that business, don't sell it yet." So then in 2014, we moved out here and I took over the business, and then in 2016, purchased the business from my mom. So our menu is kind of an eclectic mix of old and new. I've brought some stuff with me from New York, and our new chef Luli is amazing and just coming up with some really cool dishes. Our grilled radicchio salad right now is fantastic, and that is Luli's creation. And we have a savory pie that is our pulled pork with a St. Louis style rub, and it's delicious. And we still have customer favorites that have been on the menu for years, and if we took them off, I would hear about it for sure. And of course we have our seafood chowder, and that is kind of a holdover from the original Whidbey Fish. Cod, shrimp, scallops, clams. It's a hearty mix, and it's definitely a favorite as well. We source our ingredients for the cafe a lot from the island. What I really love about being a part of Whidbey Pies is this sense of community and seeing people come in and enjoying their meal and having great service and feeling happy and wanting to come back to Greenbank. All right, here we are in our tiny cafe kitchen. I'm with Chef Luli here, and we're gonna put together some pies.
All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do the picnic pie right now. It's probably one of the most popular items on the menu. We use the same dough that we use for our sweet pies. So I have some potatoes. You wanna do them pretty thin because they're, I'm gonna put them in the oven so they can get cooked. So do like a layer. Basically what we're gonna do is kind of do it like lasagna. So put quite a bit on the bottom. Then next I'm gonna put some caramelized onions right here that are just yellow onions that were cooked down really well to get all that sweetness out of the onion. So you're gonna pile that on right on top. Next, I like to put some Pecorino cheese, which is sheep's milk cheese. It's very similar to Parmesan. It's a little salty, so I don't like to put too much of it, just enough to get some flavor. Next, I have a kind of like a sage infused cream, which I like to put right on top. Once you bake it, it'll make it nice and creamy pie. Next is kind of the main part of the pie is the Black Forest ham. So that goes just once right in the middle of the pie. That goes on there. And then again, basically we're gonna do the same thing all over again. So you're gonna start again with the potato and then kind of build a nice little mound right on top. Again with the caramelized onions, some more pecorino, and then a little bit more cream. So you got a nice little mound right on top. And then right before I put the top on it, I like to finish it with a little bit of black pepper for more seasoning. And then a good thing to do is to have your dough be really nice and soft so you can work with it. So you can see it's really pliable. So dough goes right on top, like so. And then I like to remove it like that. And then you just kind of crimp the edges a little bit. Kind of reminds me of like when you make pizza. So like that, and then you kind of pinch the sides in a little bit. Anyway, so get those nice edges, and then you can either do like a nice little cross on top or whatever to get some of that steam out, and then put some egg wash, and then you're gonna throw it right in the oven. About 20 to 30 minutes later, you guys are gonna pull it out of the oven. What you're looking for is about like a golden crisp top, which really helps with the egg wash. So once it cools, you should be able to pull it right off like that, take the tin off, and then put it right on top. And then there you go.
So what is unique about Whidbey Pies and our pie making is that, we're a production facility. We make 75,000 pies a year, but we don't have conveyor belts and machines that are putting everything together. We have people, local community members, putting these pies together. Here we are making our dough in our 60-quart Hobart, and right now Anna is creating our 4th batch of dough for the day. Our ingredients are simple. We use coconut oil in place of lard or shortening, and it's a coconut oil and butter ratio with flour and water and salt. After this process, we'll hand weigh out the dough, portion it into these pie tins. We'll come over here to our little pie press and press them out into pie shells. Right now we're going to do some rhubarb pies. Our rhubarb is from Linden, Washington. All of our fruit comes from the Pacific Northwest. We'll mix it with our thickener, which is a tapioca starch, and sugar mixture. And then we take these pie shells over here to our production table, fill it with the berry and sugar mixture, put a top on it, crimp it by hand, and freeze it, and it'll be ready for baking. Pie crust, what's better, butter or lard? Butter, yes, but what's better than butter and lard is butter and coconut oil. That's what we use, and I think it makes the best pie crust there is. I'm pretty much a snob when it comes to pie crust, and there is no better pie crust than coconut oil and butter. Share your greatest pie disaster. Well, I don't know if this is so much a pie disaster as it's a fruit disaster. We buy fruit by the ton, and we store it in our freezers, and freezers don't always work like they're supposed to. We once had our freezer go down on us, and we lost 30,000 pounds of fruit. It was just a massacre. My favorite pie. That's a tough one. They're like my children. No, favorite will always be Logan Berry with vanilla ice cream. It's the original pie. It's tart, and the ice cream brings nice creaminess to it. However, I would also say rhubarb is high on that list.